You are in trouble.
Spelled differently, but you know. So Lori is a new face. I met her on a group page, Successful Women in Real Estate. So thankfully she has decided to join us today. I also have on the line Carlos, who is a mortgage lender here in the Tampa Bay area. And then Lori, who is also on my team with EXP, and she is a realtor in Hernando County. So if you ever need any resources or any help in that area, feel free to reach out to them. Lori, what area, where do you live first?
Which Lori?
Oh, well, I know where you live. I know the new Lori.
I'm in the capital region of New York State, about halfway between Albany and Saratoga Springs. So Saratoga Springs is fairly well known because of the racetrack, and it's a beautiful area.
Very cool. Very, very cool. Yeah. So if I know of anybody moving to New York, then I know who to call.
Oh, well, thank you very much. And likewise, I'm happy to share referrals when I am aware of people that are moving to your areas.
Yeah, for sure. Have you ever visited Florida?
Oh, yes. We used to, we haven't gone in about 3 years, but we used to vacation in Sarasota. Loved it.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good area. Nice and clean, and it's really beautiful beaches.
Yeah. Yeah. Very nice.
I have a little video I'm going to share. I know that people are going to start jumping in, but they're just going to, you know, why hold the party when the party's already here? We got 2 Loris in the house.
Doesn't get much better.
I know. My sister's little sister's name is Lori too, so you know I'm in super trouble. All right, well, I'm going to just kind of share a video that kind of inspires me. The message for today's video is talking about effortless actions that create inspiration for us. And I know from personal experience, and I'm sure you as realtors and as a mortgage lender can relate, sometimes we get too caught up in the grind and we're too concerned about where our next deal is coming from that we forget me time. We forget what we like doing, and we forget that giving, for me, like what makes me effortless actions are giving back to people. And I know that a lot of realtors can relate to that. So it's finding out how can we do certain things, effortless actions that create that good energy and that good flow, and that we love doing, because that's what's going to help people. It's going to basically attract attention. It's going to attract that good energy, and people love. You're going to relate to a lot of people. So for example, mine is helping others. So that's kind of why I decided to do this roundtable. It was something like, you know, I wanted to do kind of after work hours. Didn't all have to be all fancy. You could just kind of get together and just literally help each other with each other's business, whatever it may be. But then there's also something that I can do within my customer base, my past clients or people I want to work with are customer events like appreciation events, which is really hard due to COVID. But there are other things that I've done, like make homemade dog treats and drop them off at their house. This year, now that it's holidays, it's a great idea to contact your old sphere or people that you want to work with and drop off little goods. You can bake. That actually, you can spread that dollar pretty far if you're baking goods. You know, coffee get-togethers, things like that, whether you just say, hey, you know, one-on-one kind of deal, but it's about doing things that bring us good energy and that are going to bring us eventually business as well. Mm-hmm. So before I jump into that, I just want to kind of share a video. It's an inspiration. Gabby Bernstein, somebody I follow on Instagram, which I highly recommend you guys too. She brings a lot of, she basically tells us that we need to stop focusing on the grind and start focusing on what we love to do. And I'm just going to press play, and then afterwards we can talk about it and then go into kind of helping each other with each other's business.
Yes, people are going through anxiety and they're experiencing this, but they really want to work to figure out how they can serve and give others and heal themselves. Selfish is not a bad word. You have to take care of yourself first so that you can give off to others. And people are really wanting to learn that right now.
When we're forced to be still, when we have the space to really reflect, that's when real change can happen. To have any form of activism in the world, we have to activate a change within ourselves. Claim your world up so that you can help serve the world.
What I've realized is that there's like a lot of parts of me that need to be healed. But what I realize is when I bring awareness to this and I look at it and I bring light to it and I forgive it and I love it, is that's when I realize this change happens.
We're not victims. We have chosen our lives, our circumstances. We have free will. We have that free will that we can co-create our lives, right? Certain things are going to be destined to show up, but you have the free will and the power to choose.
I think the biggest transformational time is when something chaotic happens or something is to this degree. It's going to be our biggest spiritual change agent. And that's exactly what we're going to. We're being forced to look at ourselves and self-care. Self-care, it's not a selfish thing, it's a necessity.
Short and sweet. That's all I needed. And I wanted to welcome Chanel. Did I pronounce that correctly? She joined our in as well. Her face is hidden.
Yes,
Yeah.
you did. Thank you.
Awesome. Welcome. I'm glad you joined. It's nice
Thanks,
to
glad to be here.
meet your voice. So where are you in the world?
I'm in Indianapolis, Indiana.
I love it. I love it. I love how Zoom allows this to happen. That is great. I'm assuming you're a realtor as well in that area?
Yes, I am. Just started about 5 weeks ago.
Hey, that is awesome. Congratulations. See now, Borgman, you're not the newest.
Nope. What do you know?
We have someone else joining as well. I'm gonna.
Natalie.
Yes, Natalie Carmichael, who's also, so Lori Borgman and Natalie Carmichael are in my EXP group here in Florida. Natalie's in the Panhandle. So if you guys know anybody in the Pensacola area, feel free to reach out to her. And then Lori Borgman is in the Hernando County. Hello, Natalie. It's good to see your face.
Hi, Natalie.
And then we have Lori, number 2, Lori Ann. We'll just call her Lori Ann. And she's up in the New York area. So if you guys have any referrals for that area, you guys can connect with each other. And we also have the one man in the group right now. It's Carlos Ramos. And he is a lender here in the Tampa Bay area.
I have no problem being in a room full of women.
All right.
That's my Latin blood.
Lucky. So Natalie, I'm so glad to see your face. It's been a little while.
I know. What's up?
Doing all right?
My husband's like, what call do you have? And I'm like, you know how I'm never on the morning calls. I'm always busy. Well, because it's so early. But I'm like, I don't really have an excuse for 6.
Exactly. And that's what I figured, having something that's after hours, kind of a little break, whether we have coffee or cocktail, that's up to you. No judgment. But I figured this is a great way to kind of get up and kind of help us focus more on our business, but help each other with each other's business.
For sure.
More connections, the better we do in our business. So
Yes.
I just had another person join on. Shanna, did I pronounce that correctly? Shauna or Shanna?
Hi, it's Shauna.
Nice to meet you, Shauna.
Nice
Welcome
to meet
the
you.
group. I'm glad you joined.
Thanks.
Where are you in the world?
Washington, D.C.
Oh, I love it. I've been to Washington last year. It was gorgeous. Gorgeous.
Did you come during the cherry blossom season?
No, of course not. I will have to add that to my list.
Fair. That was in April, right? COVID time.
Yeah, for sure. Well, that's cool. Welcome. So I am going to add a link in the group. I just shared a video that kind of inspiration from Gabby Bernstein. I don't know if you guys follow her. I follow her on Instagram, but she kind of helps sometimes, especially with COVID and all the concerns or worries that can get to us. It's really good to kind of get outside of your head, and she helps me clear my mind, clear my thoughts, and just really know that the universe does have our back, and that the more we worry, that more energy we bring. And so by focusing on things that we enjoy doing, we're able to share and make an impact on other people, but also relate to them. So in today's meeting, I wanted to kind of focus on effortless actions that create inspiration for each other. And at first, it was really hard for me to figure that out. Like I had kind of lost my way. This is, thankfully I'm okay right now. But 2 years ago, I was lost. I didn't know what my why was. I didn't know what was making me happy because I got so caught up in what I wasn't happy with and what I wasn't achieving in my life. And, that right there was just kind of blocking the good stuff. So the moment I kind of let go of trying to control where my money was coming, and I started focusing on things that I enjoyed doing, that's kind of when business started just kind of flowing to me. And I'm telling you from experience, it is about the energy that you allow. If you're constantly worried and fear, you're blocking out the good. That's all the energy that you're going to attract. So by letting go, you focus on things that make you happy. And it's really about morning routines, maybe not just morning, because sometimes we're not morning people, and that's okay. You have to figure out what it is that you jive with that works for you and that gets you up and it wants to keep you up at night. So would anybody like to start with, what are effortless actions that you guys can or you want to take? And then maybe we can help, help center, focus that in or give you some resources that you may need to kind of really chase that dream.
I'll start. So one of the things that is really important to me, one of the groups that I follow and have not been as much a part of as I'd like to be, is the 4 Ocean group and the cleaning up around the oceans and nature and that type of thing. So that's one of the things that I've really started to pay closer attention to over the last few months, and hoping that I can even potentially be, spearhead maybe some type of an effort that's focused in my area, Hernando County or Pasco County, and just get a group together. And, maybe one day we can just go out for a few hours and just clean up.
So I think that you shouldn't just do that. That's kind of how this created, is I wanted a group of people we can get together and help each other. And I was like, you know what am I waiting for? Just do it. And I had all the excuses like, well, my whole forehead's peeling, blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, just do it. Like, that's it. Just do it. So maybe, now that it's getting cooler, thank you, Lord. Here in Florida anyways.
I thought you said Natalie's getting cooler. I was like, rude.
Getting cooler weather-wise, you just create one, like put one for Thanksgiving or something, that's 3 weeks out at least, so you don't feel, overwhelmed with the timing, but at least it'll give you enough time to plan for it. And all you need is trash bags, masks, gloves, and maybe a truck to throw away the trash somewhere,
right.
That's a dumpster in Hernando or something,
Yep.
And I think by doing those little actions and just getting a group together, and maybe not everyone will show up at first, but you'll probably be surprised at the amount of people that actually do show up.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just keep doing it, because that's going to make you feel really good. And that energy is just going to create more good things towards your way. Plus, for your business, you're meeting people and you have that common interest. And it's not salesy. You're literally, hey, just come together. Let's help each other out. Let's help the world. Let's clean the community. I live here. I love it. And then from there, you can be like, well, I have a boat. You have a boat. Let's meet up and we'll go fishing.
You could also probably get like a lender to sponsor, get some t-shirts made and maybe like a couple $100 or something. That's nothing to them. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And then like you put them on there, and then like as it grows, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But like Lindsay said, even if no one shows up to a beach cleanup, it doesn't really matter. You know what I mean? Because
I'll show up. You got to go.
Well, my point is like once you do it and post it, he'll go, oh, people went. Okay, cool. I'm gonna go next time. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like this fall, for example. Like I literally had it on my calendar, but I had it for 7:00 my time. Not your time. So I was like, oh. And then Lindsay's like, I'm like, is an hour ago? And I was like, what? But I was like, but next time I'm going to be there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I totally think you should do that.
All right.
And we need more of that in this world, and we need more of that good energy and that good vibe. So like, that's a great way for you to get involved in the community and bring yourself some business without even being intentional about it,
Right.
Totally.
Yep, absolutely.
I'm proud of you for saying that. That's cool.
Thanks.
Anybody else want to go?
What was the question again? It was something that we can do.
It is, effortless actions that create inspiration for you. Something that you've been wanting to do or achieve in your life.
Okay, I'll go next, I guess. So for me, volunteer service is really important. I volunteer a lot with my church, but what I've been thinking I would like to do, and maybe this isn't quite what you have in mind, but I'll throw it out there. What I've been thinking about and I need to take action on is in our community, what I would like to do is develop a list of, COVID has really impacted everything, but I'd like to develop a list where people are able to take donations, whether it's clothing, gently used clothing, because there for a long time, those places were not accepting donations. So clothing, food donations, and especially with the holidays coming up. And what I was thinking, I would, on my business Facebook page and also my personal page, develop a thing that says Community Corner. And then within that Community Corner outline, have different things of community interest where we can help others. I don't know if that's what you were thinking of, but.
Because that right there, it's a way for you giving. It's a way for you bringing awareness to the community. And then in return, it's you marketing yourself in a way that's not salesy. It's about the community. So what I've heard, one of my, Gabby, I know Natalie knows Gabby, she went to a lender and had the lender have a box basically stored in their office. Mm-hmm. And then so people from the community went and dropped it off there. So I don't know if you have an HOA or if they would allow you to have a community box just sitting in, amongst the common areas.
I actually, the brokerage I work for, the real estate brokerage, would, I think, allow me to put a box out in the lobby area for collections.
That would be cool.
Okay.
And that's a great way for you bringing awareness of, your office that you do real estate. Mm-hmm. But and then you don't have to necessarily be responsible for picking up those items or making sure they're not putting them in the grass, things like that.
Right.
So that's a great idea.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Anybody else? Oh, I wanted to welcome, I'm really bad at names, so just, yell at me, I guess. Kiara. I wanted to welcome Kiara. She's in here. She was showing her face a little bit. Hey. We just hear water. Welcome. Does anybody else want to share? Effortless actions that create inspiration for you. Maybe the goal that you've been wanting to do, something that inspires you, that you love doing, wakes you up early in the morning.
I guess I can share. However, I'm not sure if it's the correct response to the question, but I'll answer it in two parts. So something that really inspires me that I want to start doing is definitely working with animals. I wanted to be a veterinarian my whole life growing up, but then I realized, one, vet school is really tough. It's really expensive and it doesn't pay as great as I thought. So I went the real estate agent route, and I'm actually a realtor. So I would really love to just work with animals some way, maybe like a nonprofit or helping with human, taking them, helping like the abused animals. But what wakes me up every day is really just work. I'm really work minded right now. I'm only 26. So just doing a little bit, 1% each day to make my career a little bit more successful. So it's kind of hard to answer that question. I had to answer it in two parts.
I think
I actually just read, or not, maybe it's like a year ago now, but there was a girl in my area who, same thing. She was like she loved animals. I think something about working with, I don't remember the thing, but what she did was she became a realtor, and she found ways to like buy land and like preserve it for animals and like help expand the zoo and help them. And she got into this whole, and she's like 30 and she's like crushing now.
That's genius. I wonder if I could connect with her just to get an idea of how she transitioned real estate into helping animals.
Yeah, no, it was opposite, helping animals to real estate.
Well, helping animals using real estate.
Yeah.
Right.
I'll look her up. I forget what her name is. You'll have these people's contact, right?
Just put it in the chat if you can do that.
Oh, right now, look it up? Okay.
Yeah, why not?
Or I can give you my information.
Why wait? Grab a Snicker.
Yeah, I think it's really tough. Just like, how do you do what you love, but still, I guess, make a lot of money, depending on if what you love is not going to reap a lot of money,
Mm-hmm.
So there's a book that my coach recommended, and it's called 7 Levels of Communication. I'm trying to get who wrote it. Michael Maher, M-A, I'm going to put it in the comments, but Michael, M-A-H-E-R.
Mm-hmm.
I highly recommend reading or listening to this book because it helped me with my business. And it basically, like when I was with Keller Williams, they were cold call, door knock, cold call, door knock. I don't enjoy that. I don't vibe with that. I just don't. I like people that I like. I enjoy working with people that I know, that trust me, that whole barrier thing. Like, it's not that I don't do well with it. It's just I enjoy working with people that I know and that I like.
Right.
And that's what you want to do, is you want to position yourself with people like referrals and people that you enjoy doing business with, because they know people that you're going to enjoy doing business with.
Mm-hmm.
So this taught me on how to not focus so much on marketing money or like a billboard type of marketing, but more focus on your sphere. So it's very important to establish a database and categorize them A, B, C, D. A meaning people that are your ambassadors are going to bring you business. They talk about you. They share your posts. 100% they're going to use you as your realtor. As their realtor.
Mm-hmm.
And then B are people that you maybe don't have so much time with, that you want to convert more into A's, because you really want everyone to be an A for you.
Right.
But at the same time, different people have different personalities. And if you conflict with each other on your personality, you're not going to want to work with them. So they're not really an A or a B. They probably are more of a D, as in delete. People that are sucking the energy out of you and that are not believing in you, just degrading you, delete. You don't, I don't know how long you've known them, but they're not good for you, So like I had a hard time kind of removing myself from toxic friendships that I loved, but they were toxic, it wasn't doing me any good. So this book really helped me figure out how I can go about focusing on my sphere, doing the things that I love. So I did look at volunteering at the animal shelter, but they want a certain amount of time and certain amount of days, and that commitment, I couldn't commit to it right now. But that's why I was like, okay, well, let me make dog treats for people that I know. You like animals, so if you relate to those people that have animals, that's kind of you bring my dog a treat, I'm gonna love you forever. Like this is how it is. So that's my way of not being stuck behind the computer, but my way of giving, but also a little break for me.
Right.
I'm destroying the kitchen, I'm baking, like I get to go deliver it, and I'm having a conversation, I'm texting them, hey, I'm just, and it's COVID, so like, I'm just dropping it off, it's at your front door. That's it, you made that connection. And that's where your focus really needs to be on, is those connections and how you can be more involved in them. So like if they have a kid, are they going to a soccer game? Did they win a soccer game? Like drop off a little card, just to say, hey, congratulations, or a kid puzzle or something like that. But it's something that you can do to relate to them, be front of mind, so they're going to continue thinking about you, and then they're going to bring you more business.
Right.
So 7 levels of communication. I'm putting it in the chat right now.
Michael Mayer, right?
Yes, Michael Mayer.
Got it.
He's also got a Facebook page, so you should follow him on Facebook.
Love a good book.
Yeah. This one changed my business. There's another one that's called Super Attractor, and that is by Gabby Bernstein. But that just kind of is where our focus should be. I played a video earlier before, I'll link it in here. But it's basically stop getting into the fear and the concerns of where our next dollar is coming from, and focus more on how we can give to the people. How can we, every day we need to be, who can we help? You know, who needs a house? Who needs to sell their house? Who can we help? And by doing that, you're contacting other people, giving them what they want, you get what you want, kind of thing. Like,
oh yeah, Ricky Caruth, that's his whole motto, and he's like my mentor, Ricky Caruth. If you're familiar with him in Florida,
yeah.
Oh yeah, he's all about how can I help you? Not trying to get a deal. How can I help you today?
Yeah. And that's to me, like my thing that wakes me up early is helping people, right? And so like, it's how can I do that? Well, I like helping other agents because I've been there, you know, and I was solo and I had nobody and I just felt like I was sinking. And then I met Natalie, and then I met my sponsor, Melissa, and I met Lori, and I'm Laura Borgman, and I met Carlos, and just like all these connections that I get, like I think it's so important, especially as a real estate agent, to have that support. And that's why I created this, is to kind of say, all right, well, I want the support. I know other people probably do. Well, let's kind of get together and help each other out. And so far, so good, you know?
Now, I'm going to go on a limb and say I'm probably the oldest one on here because all I see is young ladies. So my advice, I've been in sales for 18 years doing mortgages. So one of the things I think you have to understand, because a lot of you are new, is number one, you're helping families. So remember, that's who you're helping. You're not helping clients, you're not helping prospects, you're helping families. So just remember that and change that verbiage in your sales techniques. And that's going to change how you look at a family walking into a house for the first time, looking at, you know, getting the keys. The other thing too is you have to understand is, and I'm only bringing this up because I've been seeing this a lot with a lot of newer agents in the last few months, because a lot of you don't have sales backgrounds. So, and there's nothing wrong with that, you know, because everybody wants to help everybody, but you can't. So you have to remember that though, and you have to know when to turn the knob off and know that you can't help everyone. Mm-hmm. So, and the reason why I'm bringing this up is because, like Lindsay was saying earlier, is okay, maybe you're concerned about your next paycheck and this and that. Oh, I got a phone call. Somebody wants to buy a house. Let me talk to this guy really fast. Let me get him, you know, see if he pre-qualifies. Oh, he doesn't pre-qualify. Maybe I can get somebody else to talk to him. And I said, stop, because all you're going to do is lose sleep. Mm-hmm. And it's just going to mess you up. The stress levels in our business, a lot of people don't realize how much stress is in our jobs because they think they see everything on HGTV and everything's pretty and jets and this and that, and it's all full of shit. And we all know it. So the thing is, you have to have thick skin in this business, and you need to know when to turn the knob and say, listen, unfortunately, I can't help you at this time, but maybe we can get you down the road. Okay, never say no. Never say no, because that's too discouraging and too negative. The word no is. So you always say may, maybe, you know what I mean? But just one thing you have to learn is you need to learn when to say, cut the ties, like, you know, Lindsay was saying, in your nice way, and just, you know, move them along, because the next person could be that person. You're spending so much time with that one person that's bring you down so low, that has a 400 credit score, has no money in the bank, wants first-time home buyer, wants a $500,000 house with a pool and a dog and a white fence, when they can't afford shit. And then you got somebody next door who's waiting for you to talk to them, and they have 700 credit scores, 20% down, whatever it may be. But I'm just using that as an example. But just know you can't help everybody. Don't try. Do not try.
But
I've been doing this years, and I drink Crown Royal because I've tried so many times to do this. So I'm just telling you, I'm not an alcoholic. I'm a drinker. But you would think I'd be an alcoholic after 18 years. But just don't, like, just, you got to understand that now. Like, you know, Shannon, you guys are young. Just don't try to help everybody. You may have friends, oh, I want to buy a house because they see everything on TV and this, that. Like, I had to tell my own daughter this was not the right time for her to buy a house, because she was becoming a housezilla, you know, and, you know, bridezilla, but she was the housezilla. She's 25, she's a school teacher, and she's starting to make decent money. in Rhode Island, not in Florida. Florida teachers don't make anything. It's a shame. But just, I had to tell her, I said, look, this is not your time. You know what I mean? Just give it a little more time, save a little bit more money, work on a couple of things, and it'll come to you. But she knows that now, and she has her plan put together for that. If you work with somebody that doesn't have a plan, and all the advice I give them as a lender goes in here, out here. You know what I mean? So just, Lindsay, I love when you said that. You got to learn to say it's time to move on, you know, because if you focus on money, you're going to go broke. Bottom line.
Point though, like side note to piggyback off of that, because I 100% agree. Because you said it perfectly. The people that I've tried to help, and I do that because like they're the ones that need the most help, right? Have not only sucked my time, my energy, but like I've had to put other clients aside, or I haven't had the strength to maybe take a lead that I would have taken that would have been an easy deal, just because I was like, I just can't right now, I'm too stressed. But on the flip side of that, as a realtor, I think Lindsay can jump in on this. We both, because we started at the exact same time, like we both know the pains of like needing money, right? And so like there are times where you're like, I just need this deal. I don't care if it's small.
Oh, I get it.
You know what I mean? And
Totally
so I think it's important on those, you know, to remember what Carlos is saying and to kind of weigh it like, what I do is because I have a hard time saying no. I push people off on the lender. Hey, and I let the lender tell me, Natalie, run, or Natalie, don't do this. You know what I mean? Because this is not going to work.
And there's nothing wrong with that. I would rather you give me the lead to let me look at it, and then I can say that, Natalie, like don't you know, work on something else. Go try to get somebody else. Let me clean this up and see if we have anything. That's where I can come in and do that as a lender. And, you know, really, that's really my job, because the consumer's not going to tell you everything. They're going to tell me everything.
Right.
Tell me how much money they have most of the time. They're going to say, you know, I look at their credit, you know, you need to be doing that. Go get somebody else. Go sell to somebody else, you know. I'll take all the drama and all that. You know, we're all shrinks in this business.
No, like when you're giving a lead to a lender, you're not getting rid of that lead. You know what I mean? Like he's just shining it up for you. But trust me, Lindsay and I, more times than we can count or want to even probably repeat, we've been like, oh my gosh, like
we learned the hard way.
I've seen, like I said, 18 years. I've met a lot of new realtors come into the business. A lot of new realtors go out of the business. I remember last year, I sent a text to a realtor like Merry Christmas or something like that. And she texted me back. She goes, I am out. I'm done, Carlos. You can take me off your texting list, because this business is just crazy. It was nothing that I was expecting. You know, they don't teach you that in real estate school. And I'm like, of course not. They don't teach you that in real estate school. They're only teaching you to pass the test.
They do teach you though that there's like what 85% everyone quits. Like 85% of realtors quit after their first year. You learn that.
I believe it. You know, I'll tell you what, if you're new in the business, if you come in new in the business right now in 2020 and you survive, you're going to be around a long time, because this is one of the worst years in real estate. And this is also my best year in real estate.
I'm new in the business. I came in during COVID, got my license in April.
And all you got to do is keep grinding, do the stuff other people don't want to do, and you'll be successful.
Right. As a matter of fact, here I am brand new. I've never even done a walkthrough open house. Two of the agents in the office weren't comfortable doing a virtual open house for whatever reason. They asked me if I would. My very first open house. I did virtually. I did Facebook Live.
Good for you.
Did two of them, you know? So I don't know any different. That's how I look at it.
That's it. Right. That's it. You have
more of those.
You have nothing to lose, so you go for it.
Right. Nobody was comfortable with it. So,
you know?
Yeah.
Awesome.
You do more things that make you uncomfortable or make others uncomfortable, and you achieve that, you're going to get so much more from that. And I always, whenever like business was kind of slow, I would go ask somebody, hey, can I host an open house? Or hey, can I just do a virtual showing of your
Exactly.
house? So like every Thursday or something like that, you know, schedule it saying, hey, I'm doing a virtual tour. Feel free to join me. It'll be live on Facebook. But that's a way of making yourself look busy and you feel busy. And then you're just going to start attracting that attention.
I have also another piece of advice, and I do this all the time because I'm not like Lindsay as much as I wish I was, where I was like just going out and looking at houses. I just don't do that. So what I do is like, even if I have someone who I think might be a waste of time, if they're a buyer, like I love buyers. And this is the reason, is because I don't feel like showing houses is a waste of my time. Like I love the fact that someone can call me, like an actual buyer, like a legitimate buyer can call me and I can know what is on the market because I've shown so many houses. And so the one perk about people that are, because I know a lot of people are like, oh, if you don't have a pre-qual or a pre-approval, I'm not going to show you a house. I don't really go by that. I mean, granted, if I'm like slammed that day, of course, I'm going to be like, do a pre-approval. But if I've got nothing going on, I'm like, I'll go look at houses, you know? And I feel like the more houses you can get inside, like just the more knowledgeable. I had a point connected somehow.
Well, and it's also more ways that you can promote it. So like anytime I show a house, I try to take pictures and like record it, you know, because the busier you are, the more successful you look.
Yeah.
And that's just the name of the game. You got to be front of face and you have to. So there's this coach that I started taking. His name is Hank. Yeah, Natalie, I started taking his class. He's rough. Like he'll call you out in a heartbeat and like
30 for 30 or what are you doing?
50. No, it's agent attraction, but yeah, this is anyway. So he has this thing where it's called 50, 25, 1. So 50 connections or no, 50 people need to see you every single day. So whatever platform you use, because it's not recommended to use all platforms, like really get into one or two and like ace that stuff and promote it on there saying, you know, and then just keep doing that.
Lindsay, I actually watched part of that Hank thing yesterday, and I saw when he called you out. I'm like, oh, poor Lindsay. I knew you were like, you just wanted to like sink down in your chair.
I did.
Well, I mean, it is it's a numbers game. This business is a numbers game. So like I know Hank, I like Hank. I do. I like his stuff. You know, so it's just a numbers game, and you have to remember that, you know, I think Lindsay, you've heard me say this before, is like you're all marketers and you just happen to be realtors. You know what I mean? So your biggest thing is marketing right now. If you're not marketing yourself, you're not branding yourself, whatever platform you're doing, being consistent, then you're not going to be seen. So I would advise you listen to some marketing podcasts, find some marketing Facebook groups, just look what's going on out there, because you need to learn the Instagram, the TikToks, the Facebook, the LinkedIn, which LinkedIn, you know, you should be on that as well. So, you know, you this is a marketing business. We just happen to be a loan officer and realtors on here that, you know, can do that. Because think about it, like think about, you know, Zillows, the Quickens, and like all these people, they spend a ton of money. They have deep pockets. You're not going to compete with them, so don't try to be like them. You know what I mean? Just be you, be authentic, and I'm telling you, it makes a huge difference. You do that. It just, and I mean, Lindsay knows I do a lot of Facebook Lives, and I'll meet people in person, and they're like, man, you're just like your videos, and I'm like, well, why wouldn't I be? You know, like, you know, I'm not Brad Pitt. I don't get paid to act, you know, and all this stuff. So, you know, so if you hear me swear in my video, that's just me being like, oh shit, I said something I wasn't supposed to say.
You know what, Carlos, can I ask you something? Because I did 30 for 30 with Hank. I don't know what you're doing, but and he was like, if you post a Facebook Live every single day, like in a year, your business is going to be like out of control. And it's true, because when you post a Facebook Live, it moves all of your posts up in like people's things, and like people start watching you, and then that moves you up there, so you're seen more. But for some reason, and I'm not shy, like I am not shy, like at all. But for some reason, when I go like Facebook Live, I freeze.
Yeah.
Yeah. What you're doing right now, talking to us, that's how you talk on your Facebook Live.
No, that's what I'm saying. I've got no problem. I can talk to anyone, a stranger. I've got no problem. But for some reason, once that camera goes on.
Because are you thinking about, waiting for that one person to come on and you'll be like, oh shit, somebody's actually on watching me right now.
Kind of, yeah, that happens too.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't ever worry about anybody watching you, because the majority of people that watch your Facebook Lives are replays. So you just have to, like, once you press that button, go, you know what I mean? Just talk about it. Talk about Lindsay does it. I watch Lindsay, Rob, everybody, just whatever. They only want to hear what you're gonna say. They just, what are you gonna say? And then go back and they'll watch the replays. And you have to know your audience. So I've been doing Facebook Live for 3 years, and it's really blossomed in the last year and a half. And a lot of people know me by Facebook Live. Like, that's how I met Lindsay, so what I'm trying to say is you have to be consistent, but you have to know your audience, because you either you got morning people, like getting ready for work. Like, is that my audience? Everybody's getting ready for work. Or you have the lunchtime people, they're taking a break, they're gonna go check their phones at work, or you have the evening crowd, which would be like actually everybody here. And then they're actually still doing some work. They just finished dinner. They're checking their phones. So you have to know when you do your Facebook Live, what your topic should be. Like, so in mornings, I'm a big inspirational person in the morning. Like, just come out with a quote, do a Facebook Live.
Can you do an example right now? I mean, I guess I could look at your Facebook. But.
You should look at his Facebook. Everybody follow Carlos Ramos.
Yeah, and if you need help, just tell me. I'll help you. So
you know what?
I'm just saying, like in the mornings, what's that?
A business page you're talking, right?
I do both.
You do? Okay.
Yeah, I do both. So
I'm gonna share in the comments.
Yeah, so if you want to, like I'm saying, if you just gotta show people who you are. And listen, it's not all about work. Yeah, I think that's where a lot of people make the mistake, and I've done it too. I'll take a lot of selfies or whatever. But if you have children, if you have a dog, if you have a cat, Lindsay has her iguana.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. I do.
That thing's crazy.
Okay. People love that stuff. That's what they want to see. And if you screw up, make some blooper reels. Video out there. People like us screwing up. They want to laugh at us. The world is too negative right now. They need a smile on their face. and then that your views go up, and then algorithms change. Now the next time you come live, if you do a work live, everybody's like, they capture it, so it's just, you got to play with it. So, and Lindsay, please tell me to shut up. I'll keep going. So
I was going to say, for Lorianne, with your volunteer stuff, that's a great way for you to do a live.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. All the stuff that you ladies want to do.
Yeah.
You have to get it out. You have to get it out. Lori was with the ocean, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Everybody loves water. Everybody loves water.
Mm-hmm.
Florida, just if you're doing an open house and you have a pool, you better do the video by the pool, because everybody's jealous of us. So whatever you want to do, to change your lives, whatever it is, blast it out there, get it out there. Let the people know what you're passionate about. And I guarantee you're going to attract that passion back. Mm-hmm. And you're helping this family. Oh, I saw you over here. I'm doing a couple of refinances and a purchase right now because they found me on Facebook. It wasn't through a realtor or anything like that. They just found me on Facebook or Instagram.
Nice.
I love Instagram. I do. I like Instagram more than Facebook. I think Facebook right now, because of it's political and it's just negative right now, that I would ease off a little bit on that and stick to Instagram for ladies.
Do you do like how do you get new people to follow you on Instagram? Do you hashtag whatever?
It's the hashtags. It really is. I can tell you what, I watched the different road right now because I want to stay on topic too. So sorry, Lindsay.
No, you're good. This is all good. Good information.
Find like influencers that you like, and you look at their hashtags, and you can actually take their hashtags and make it your own, Don't just do the same hashtags over and over, but just follow the people that you really want to follow, that has your business model or what. Look at what they're doing for their hashtags, and it'll change how you do it. You know.
Yeah, I just don't do social media at all.
Girl, we need to have a little chat. So
I don't look at it. Like my
if
husband
you're not
all
on
day
it,
on
you need
Instagram,
to.
and I'm like,
Well, you know what? Some people are not into it. I get it. Either hire somebody to do it for you, or honestly,
Schedule it out.
you need to get on there and do it yourself. You know, you need to like make a picture of your family or your, just whatever, but you got to get out there. Like, where do you live? What part of town do you live?
I live in Pensacola, Florida. It's like by Alabama.
Pensacola. Okay, so you have up there, you showcase Pensacola, the beach, whatever. What's happening in Pensacola with Natalie? Boom. You know what I mean? There's your title. Throw some videos out there.
I know. I need to talk to you.
You know, I'm just telling you that there's so much that you guys.
It's my biggest. And here's the thing, you guys. Like, it's amazing that I get as much business as I do because I do zero marketing.
Don't recreate the wheel. I mean, just don't change. If you're okay the way you are, don't.
No, I'm not. No, like when I say like I should be getting nothing. Like I'm like not making.
You know, somebody tells me like about this one. I always tell people, friend request your clients.
See, I worry about that.
You can make a separate list on Facebook for your clients. Okay, it does two things. One, you can stalk the hell out of them. If you see a garage sale and they plan on selling their house and they haven't called you, you can, you know what I mean? So I hate to say it, but you stalk a little bit. And then number two is they see you. You know, like if they're following you, they're gonna see what you got going on, and you know, out of sight, out of mind in this business.
Stay in contact with them.
You know,
I think about that all the time.
it's scary. I know for a fact that I've lost probably $100,000 in business because I did not follow up as much as I should have been with my past clients. I already know. This year alone, I already know because rates dropped, everybody refinanced. I'm a purchase loan officer. I don't do a lot of refis, but I already know that. But you know what? I come to terms with it. It is what it is. I have my game plan. It's the fourth quarter, which all of you better be ready. It's the fourth quarter. Get out there, brand, because I'm telling you, and I'm sure Lindsay heard me say this before, once the turkey hits the table, everybody goes on vacation. So you guys are a lot newer, fresh. I mean, I'm going to say everybody maybe 3 years in the business or less, whatever. Take advantage of the realtors that have been in the business a long time. And I know this is recorded. So if you're watching me later and you're an experienced realtor, hey, suck it up. But I'm being honest. A lot of experienced realtors will slow down this time of year because they've just been doing that forever instead of pushing hard. Push hard right now. Push.
And that goes back to the 50-20-5-1 is 50.
Okay. So Lindsay, I love that. Let me tell you something I learned. Okay. So just watch how many contacts you guys have that you don't even realize. Okay. I'll give you an example. Lindsay, do you know 5 people?
Yes.
Okay.
Here, right now.
Right now. Okay. There you go. Okay. So I'm asking, so just follow my train here. Okay. So Lindsay, you know 5 people, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Do you think those 5 people know 5 people each?
Absolutely.
Okay. So do you think the 5 people that you know and the 5 people they know 5 people each?
Absolutely.
Okay. So what should you be doing with the first 5 people?
Telling them that I'm in real estate.
Bless
figuring
you.
out what they actually, I prefer figuring out what they need in life. Hey, what are you looking to do right now? You need a connection with floor guy?
No, I mean I get that, but the thing is you want to know who their floor guy is, but in a roundabout way. It's like, Lindsay, you know, I know you know 5 people. The best CRM is the cell phone. Okay, no data, the best CRM is that cell phone. You can do Russian roulette on your cell phone with the contacts and pick 5 people, right? So say I call my brother, say, hey, Jose, hey man, listen, you know, I know you forgot him in mortgages because you always do. You're my brother. Okay. But listen, I need your help. Okay. I need you to go on your phone right now. Find 5 people you know. I know you know a carpenter. I know you know an electrician. I know you know a landscaper. Oh yeah, you know, I know a CPA too. All right, you know what? Can I get their information? You know, your brother, your friends, they're not gonna say no to you, you know. Hey, and if you don't mind, can you let them know that I may be calling them to introduce myself? Sure. You know, okay, that's 5, that's just warm handoffs. Okay. It's either that or you said at the beginning, you don't like doing the cold calling and the door knocking. I guarantee you, start with 5 people you know in your phone, just random calls, and just, hey, you know, hey, I haven't talked to you in a while. Hey, Natalie, I haven't talked to you in a while, man. How you doing? Family good? All this and that, you know. And Natalie's gonna tell me like what's going on. He goes, look, man, Natalie, I need a big favor. You know, do you know 5 people? And then of course she's gonna say yes. And then you're gonna say, hey, listen, do you remember who who did your taxes, your CPA? You know, do you have a lawyer? Do you have a financial advisor? You know, as you start drilling down, you'll get with it. And then it's all warm.
My problem is like, I just moved, I mean, not just anymore. I moved here 3 years ago, but I don't have any friends here besides like my sister-in-law. So
like, past clients.
So that's the thing that goes to what type of, like, what are some things that you want to do with your life? What brings inspiration to you? Is it going to the beach? Is it firefighter stuff because your husband's a firefighter? You know, is it
perfect?
Create a group. There's some sort of group that you need to create to make your own friends and your own connections.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. Find something that you really enjoy doing, you know, whether that's a book club or working out or a wine club or something. Find something you really enjoy doing and start making connections and start finding new friends.
Yes, because that right there is going to increase your business at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So you have 2 kids, so do something with getting kids together, or I mean, I know that as well.
I'm homeschooling.
You can do virtual get-togethers, which is kind of what I'm doing. You know, or virtual. You know,
that would require them to have friends, and they don't.
Well, they go to school, right? They don't have any friends in their school.
I'm homeschooling.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
All right, we're working with you, Natalie. We're working.
Yeah, no. I'm not trying to sit down and asking for help. Like I'm saying, like I hear you guys, and I've been like trying to do this. Like I've done the Bumble stuff, like the Bumble for friends, and like tried to meet people, and like I've done like the other like what?
I
didn't know they had that, so I just something new.
What about have you ever like looked up? There's a thing I just found out about, and it's probably really old, and I'm probably like totally seeing how much of a
probably new to me,
but it's called Meetup. You can there's a thing that you can Google, and it's called Meetup, and you can put in there like what things you enjoy, and it will automatically send you notifications of things that are going on in your area that are related to the stuff that you enjoy.
I've done that here, and it's like not
hey, pick and choose. You know, I think what happens is when you go into new groups as a realtor, I think everybody, as soon as they hear realtor, they're like, oh, you know, it's like, but if you go in and you're just being yourself, and like you got, like everybody wants to do here, everybody's awesome. So you just being yourself and do that, and you don't come off salesy. It's a lot better, of course, for everybody, and just let them get to know you that way. But if you're Pensacola, I don't know much about Pensacola, so I would love to learn more about Pensacola. I don't really know much up there. I can just tell you, like, I like networking, whether it's Meetup, Zoom, in person. I'm okay with in person, just anything like that. You know, maybe you just have to find some groups out there. I'm in Toastmasters. So Toastmasters is for speaking.
Yeah,
playing the the so's and all that stuff. So that's a very cheap group. It's like $80 a year or whatever it is. It's very cheap. And they do Zoom, and then everybody in there is from a different industry. It's amazing the people that you meet in there. That might be something that you can join, just something different.
Is that locally? It is, right?
Toastmasters is all over the world.
But I mean, like, is your group local, right? Each group is local, right?
There's multiple.
That is a good idea.
Here. Yeah, they meet at evenings. They meet in the mornings. Just look that up. Let's type in Toastmasters near me, you know, and it's another great group to, everybody's going there to help each other learn how to speak better and all that. I still say the ums and so's. It's hard to get away from that the filler words, because the biggest thing is pausing. You know, that's you have to learn how to pause, and it's
pausing without filling it with or so. Just
yes,
pausing.
correct. And it's hard because we just want to go because that's our mentality. You know? So
yep.
Try Toastmasters. I'm
actually looking at it right now. There are some here. I'm going to do that because then those people I can network with, and then.
Most of the people in my Toastmasters are all professionals, by the way. So it's a different breed, you know. Lindsay, man, I told you to tell me to shut up.
No, it's good stuff. It's great stuff.
I've never heard of Toastmasters before, so this is new for me.
Toastmasters. Yeah, I go to the one in Trinity. So
I think that's the closest one to you.
Huh. I didn't know about that one.
Yeah. We're meeting on Zoom right now. We're kind of a hybrid. We meet on Zoom and at the college, Trinity. What's that called? I don't know.
Rasmussen, and look.
I can't remember. Yeah, it's in Trinity. I don't remember. I do virtual. We meet every Friday morning at like 8. It's only 1 hour too, ladies. It's fast. It goes quick. Yeah. It's good. It helps, you know. Every little bit helps because learning is earning. So, you know, I mean, 1 hour a day is not going to kill you to try to learn something new.
Absolutely.
You know, and I'll tell you what, I have this book right here because Lindsay, I don't know, can you see this? You can't see this.
Yeah. Well, put it up.
Our mortgage company.
Screen.
Put it up.
Yeah, let me take this off.
Your first 365
in real estate.
Okay, you see that?
Yep.
Okay, so this lady right here, I forgot where she's out of, but she documented her first year. Oh, that's my wife walking around back there, by the way.
Hello, wife.
She documented her first year in real estate, and she made a book out of it. And so if you guys ever want a copy, just let me know. Let Lindsay, you know, give me an email or whatever, and I'll send it to you. So,
I also put Carlos's Facebook page in the chat, so if you guys want to follow him.
Shelly's up, yeah. So and I've actually sent this out to some realtors I know already, and they're almost done with the book. They're like, man, I went through all that, and you know, so everybody struggles the same in the whole country. You know, the door knocking, the cold calling, the open houses. And it's funny. I open it up and she says F the F word. So, but she means fear and failure. So, but if you guys are interested, just let me know. I'll send this to you. Okay. Or whatever you like. Awesome. But, and you may be asking, Carlos, you know what? You're a loan officer. Why are you reading a real estate book? Well, let me tell you why. Because as a loan officer, I'm always interested in seeing what you go through because it helps when I teach my classes, you know. So it makes it, you know, I listen to Tom Ferry. I love his stuff. If you guys are not listening to Tom Ferry's podcast, you should be. Tom Ferry is, yeah, he has some high-end clients, but his ideas are very basic and everybody can do it.
My sister used to pay like $600 a month.
I'm paying for that dude. I mean, yeah, he's expensive. I heard he's very expensive, but his podcast is really cool. A lot of good ideas. I've actually made videos from his podcast. Like I've broken down some of his videos and threw the tips out there. And some realtors like, man, how do you know all this stuff? How do you know what we do? Because I listen. You want to do it, so you don't want to listen to Tom Ferry. So I'll take what he's doing and bring it back out to you because my audience is different. So, you know. Is earning. Never forget that in this business. Always keep learning.
Yep.
You know, little things, you'd be surprised. Like, look, I learned to bumble. I never knew that.
Learn to bumble.
Yeah, you know, so something new. You know, yeah. Somebody put in the comments, Brian Buffini. Yeah, I haven't heard Brian Buffini in a few years, but
Okay.
Awesome.
That.
yeah, there's a lot of good people out there, and just
Follow them.
I don't even watch the news anymore. I like to put the podcast on.
It's better for you, better energy.
Yeah, there was a speaker that said that don't ever listen to the news in the morning because then you start your day off negative.
Uh-huh.
I don't watch the news at all.
Yeah.
I think the news is so negative.
Well, my wife's over here. She's got to watch the Today Show and all that stuff. So she's a hairstylist. My battles, but I can't watch HGTV with her. She kicks me out of the room. I'm telling you, she's right here. Want me to bring her up? Kathy,
It's true.
you hear her? I can't watch that. What's the show? What's the Joanne?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All bullshit. It's all bullshit. Hey, I'll tell you what though, because I gotta go shoot a live soon. The guys that sell, if you really want to learn some good sales techniques on TV, what's that show? The New York
Scott Brothers?
No,
Brothers?
no, I don't like that. The $1 Million Listings. That's right. The guys in New York, the tall dude, and then
that's on Netflix.
They're like elite.
But their sales techniques are basic.
Really?
It's on Netflix?
No, they're on TV. They're on TV. There's
yeah, it's on Bravo.
Yeah, Bravo. Oh, Bravo. There you go. $1 Million Listings in New York and LA. Yes, they're elite salespeople, but they all started at the bottom.
That's right.
Remember that. They're like bricks to a house. You got to start your foundation somewhere. And I'm telling you guys right now, the $1 Million Listing guys, if you just like listen to some of the stuff, it's like, wow, that's actually a cool technique. And you'll pick up on some stuff and you can use it on your clients. Try it out. What do you got to lose?
For sure.
That's true.
You know?
Sure. Well, on that note, Lorianne is leaving. Thank you, Lorianne, for joining us. It was a pleasure. And I'm going to end the meeting with focusing on these small actions that will bring us joy, but also bring us business. All right. So let's focus more of that and then reach out if we can help with that idea, you know? All right.
Like
Lindsay's not going to invite me back anymore. I talk too
circle
much.
is like do small things that bring you joy in a Facebook Live.
Right. Anything, honestly. And the more you do for like that's not so much salesy, the more energy you're going to bring towards you. And the more they're going to see that you do real estate.
I mean, I could do that, right? Just like getting active on Facebook Live. It doesn't have to be about real estate. Just be like one a day about anything.
You can interview your child about what
do you like to cook? Do you like to bake? Do you like do your own personal wine tasting in your house? Let me try this one.
I know I just stopped drinking though. I
don't know, throwing it out there.
No, I know.
All right, y'all. Well,
I feel inspired. This is good.
Good. I'm glad. I like it.
Thanks, everyone.
See you next time.
Bye, guys. Have a good night.